not bad. I love the way the jig head, right? It just keeps your bait up here because it's got that screw lock on it, and you screw that bait on there and that bait just doesn't go anywhere, and it gives you plenty of room for your hook sets. It's just another way to rig them, but it's the way that I've started rigging them because since I started rigging them like that, I haven't lost one. And I didn't, if you go back on our page, you can see the way I used to rig them. I didn't lose a whole lot rigging them that way, but I did lose a couple when a fish just absolutely murdered it. So I've just started rigging them this way, and this way seems to be the best way for me to rig it and fish the way I like to fish. That's a whole nother thing that people don't tell you. How do you like to fish? Well, I don't like to fish this thing like a jerkbait. I've tried it, and I just don't get bites on it. Maybe that's, I just don't know. But if I can take, like what I've got on there right now is an 1/8 ounce weight, right? Because it's a jig head, 1/8 ounce jig head, and I can take that 1/8 ounce jig head. I'll show you so you can get a better picture of it. But you see the jig head there, and that's how I got it rigged, so you can see it. If I can take that and let that thing drop and bounce it, then I get those tentacles moving like this. So again, shout out BD Custom Baits, cracking. For some reason, I like that green pumpkin and white, or a green pumpkin pearl, about as much as any color I've thrown in this, because I think it gives you a mix, and so I like it. I love that color. I've caught more fish on that color than I have any other color too. See, I can just bounce it along the bottom and jig it up and almost throw it like a jig, which is the way I like to fish. So even during the wintertime when we're throwing jerk baits, jerk baits, we call them jerk baits now. Back in my day when we were younger, we called them stick baits. But I've thrown those basically all my life, and I think the first fish I caught on a jerk bait was 2 years ago, if that tells you anything. So it may be me, and that's perfectly fine. And so if it is me, then I'm going to tailor my fishing to my style of fishing, not somebody else's style. And so for me, fishing it like a jerkbait makes no sense to me. I want those tentacles to bounce in the water because I think that's how you get bites. Or at least that's how I get bites. So by gosh, that's how we're gonna do it. If you don't get anything else from me, get this. Doesn't matter how you fish it the way you fish, because the way you fish will work. Everybody tries to become the next so-and-so or so-and-so, you know. I mean, they only made one Bill Dance. They only made one Roland Martin. So stop trying to reinvent the wheel and do what you do. I like to jig, so I'm jigging it. I don't really feel comfortable doing it any other way. And the biggest difference is when you throw a jerk bait, you at least have 2 hooks, if not 3. So you got 6 or 9 treble hooks there. And so if a fish bites it when it's slack, they bite it, they're still getting hooks in their mouth. And so I just like to have more control over this because I'm fishing it with a single hook. And I think rigging it with a treble hook is absolutely way too much, right? I'm sure you catch fish because it's a treble hook. Why wouldn't you catch fish? But it's not something that I like to do. Now, I have rigged them with the worm hooks. Those aren't bad, right? Those aren't bad. But this is the best way for me that I have found to rig it. If you'll go back on our page, you'll see that I rigged it a different way using a screw lock, but then a hook through the screw lock and stuff. And so this is just a whole lot less time consuming setting up than that other one. So that's why I started fishing like this. And that also means that I can change the jig head out and put a 3/16 on there or ½ ounce on there. However heavy I want it and however deep I want it, you know. So that's one of the reasons why I like it as well.